Hey, that's a pretty neat teaser graphic. Where have I seen that concept before? Oh yeah, that Chofly Elite YouTube channel does graphics like that. I swear I'd seen that before. Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and we've got a big video here because we've got Plarium using the channel as inspiration for stuff they're releasing. We finally know what the 10X is going to be for this weekend. I can get you full context on that, so you know exactly what's coming up for the summoning events. And we've also got some new Hydra stuff being teased. They're kind of slowly leaking that out, and we'll probably see the end of that pretty soon because they said that next week, the full kind of information and full teaser video of the official Plarium release of the Hydra is going to be made public as of next week or so. So I'm going to get you all caught up as to what you need to know heading into the end of this week. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, in terms of the 10X, the summoning event that is happening, remember last weekend we had a 2X event, which means this week we were expecting a 10X. Now we finally know what it is. As of a couple hours ago, they just now finally released it. And the champions that are going to be in this weekend's 10X are going to be BlindSeer as the Void Legendary, Lady Kimmy, Lysandra, Netheril, Sylar, Deacon, Shatterbones, and Armina. So I will quickly go through each one of them and give you my first impression thoughts on them as a champion. First up, a BlindSeer as the Void Lego for this 10X. She is just really solid, just very consistent and overall generally useful as a support for your account. She's got really good base stats. The 115 base speed is amazing. The triple hit A1, that is also going to be a turn meter lower. She's got block debuffs, which is obviously amazing, and she's going to also place shield, and she can do reviving and then place block damage on them along with a pretty reliable 34% defense aura in all battles. So she's maybe not the best champion in the game, but she is definitely extremely well-rounded and is a good addition to any account. In our most recent little ranking system with the Void Legendaries that we did over with the Twitch chat, she graded out kind of towards the top of the mid-tier of the Void Legos. So not one of the godliest in the game, but as a Void Legendary, she is definitely a solid champion. Lady Kimmy, she has an insane kit. So she's got both sides of the speed and accuracy spectrum. Right here on the A2, she's going to decrease enemy accuracy and also decrease their speed and turn meter. Then on the flip side of that, she's got an ability here to fill ally turn meter and increase ally accuracy and increase ally speed. So you're getting both ends. You're lowering theirs and you're increasing yours. It is a big, big swing. She's also got a 30% ally speed in Doom Tower battles, which is a really good aura if you're ever using her for Doom Tower bosses and things like that. You get both sides of accuracy and speed with a great aura. And then she's also got other cool stuff here on the passive, and the A1 is decent, but the A2 and the A3 on paper are a pretty insane kind of flux to the battle. Then for Lysandra, she is arguably the best champion in this 10X. She's got one of the best auras in the game, 24% ally speed in all battles. This Energize ability is just crazy. Increase speed and fill turn meter by 30%. And decrease turn meter of all enemies. So that is a big, big turn meter swing. And then she's also got this full turn meter deplete on the A2. You'll see Lysandra a lot in many different teams. You'll see her in Doom Tower teams. You'll see her all the time in the arena, in Spider, Fire Knight. She is just an amazing all-around champion and arguably, like I said, probably the best in this 10X. Then Netheril is going to be the last legendary in this 10X, and Netheril is one that I don't have, so I haven't gotten to test him a whole lot, admittedly, but he is definitely a fun one. He's got a triple hit A1 that's going to be placing poison, so you can crank out damage in like a mid-game clan boss team or any boss fight scenario. And then he's got two different AoEs. One is going to do a stun or decrease speed, and the other is going to do a massive turn meter reduction. So yeah, with all of his kit here, he's got lots of super crucial debuffs and things that he is doing to hurt your opponents. Then for the epic champions, first up, we've got Sylar. Sylar is a fun one to put in a stun set because she's got this AoE A1, and then she's also got an insane ability for an epic champion. We're going to decrease the speed on all enemies for 2 turns and decrease their meter by 40%, which is huge on an AoE. That's one of the bigger ones you'll see on an AoE. Remember, we just saw Netheril. You're starting to see the theme of this 10X is going to be a lot of turn meter and speed manipulation, and Sylar is one of the better epic ones for doing that for sure, and she's also amazing for the Dark Elf Faction Wars. Deacon Armstrong is a newer epic to the game who came out probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago. He's not a legacy champion like Sylar is, but he is ridiculous because he can basically fill 2 roles in an arena team. He can do the turn meter boosting and also decreasing the enemy turn meter, so kind of like a budget version of Lissandra's Energize ability, but then he's also going to grant an extra turn, so that's basically just something free, like a passive effect he's going to do. And then he will also decrease their defense, so he can boost you up, boost them down, and then also break their defense and help you nuke something. So Deacon is an insane epic. You couple that with a speed aura of 19% in all battles, and he's probably a top 20 epic in the game. Then for Shatterbones, he's got a fun kit. The problem is his cooldowns. So he does a lot of the same stuff. He's got this AoE, decrease speed on all enemies, and then fill the turn meter of all allies, which is super cool. But it starts out as a 7 cooldown and it books to a 5. That's just not going to cut it nowadays in Raid. So unfortunately, just too big. They need to lower this to at least a 6 default and book it to 4. This is just too long of a cooldown. And then it's kind of the same theme, unfortunately, here. We've got an AoE that hits 3 times, and it's not even a 100% chance to decrease the turn meter, and it is still a 5/4 on the cooldown. When booked, it's still a 4. So he needs to have his cooldowns adjusted. Probably 1 turn on each would be fine. Lowering this to a 4-3 for the cooldown, and then lowering this to a 6-4 would give him a lot better rotation and synergy as a champion. As it stands, his cooldowns just kind of leave him out in terms of being used and worthwhile for investing in on most accounts. So that gives champions a nice rotation on their abilities, and it makes them kind of function super well on the battlefield as everything is rotating through. She's also going to do decreased defense, so she's going to be super good in the Barbarians. Faction Wars, you can put the War Maiden away, put the War Maiden in the vault, and use Armina instead. Armina brings a lot more utility than War Maiden, who is just that 3-turn defense break. You get a lot more out of Armina, especially in your Faction Wars team. And I'm still using War Maiden on my Faction Wars team. I need to go ahead and, that makes me think I need to go ahead and build my Armina. I do have Armina. I need to get her built for the Faction Wars on the next CVC. So definitely worth noting, but that is all the champions in the 10X. So just to wrap that up, that'll be starting tomorrow, and that will be the 10X for this weekend. And the champions are Blind Seer, Lady Kimmy, Lysandra, Netheril, Sylar, Deacon Armstrong, Shatterbones, and Armina. All in all, a pretty solid 10X. It's not one of the best ones they've ever done. It's not one of the worst ones. Very solid. Anytime you get speed manipulation and turn meter reduction, boosting, anything like that, that is a very strong ability in Raid. So all of these champions definitely have their use and their utility. Shatterbones is probably the worst. He's the one that out of all of these I would be the most hesitant to invest in, but it's a pretty solid 10X. You know the drill by now if you watch my channel. I recommend that most of you, in most cases, try to save your shards for 2X events. You're going to get more value out of your shards over the long haul. If you play Raid for 1, 2, 3 years, over that much of a time for sample size, you're going to get more value spending most of your shards during 2X events. But 10Xs can be a good opportunity to go epic chasing. If you're struggling on one of these factions, Barbarians, or you need a Deacon or something like that, I like to use 10Xs as an opportunity to chase some of those epics. It's a lot more realistic that you'll acquire some decent epics. So that can make sense in certain situations, but all in all, I recommend probably saving for a 2X. And we've also got Plarium slowly trickling out more and more information about some of this Hydra stuff. They're teasing it on many different platforms. I just did a video last night wrapping up what we know so far, but this is a ever-moving topic. They're like every 12 hours, they're releasing stuff about the Hydra, and I'm trying to keep you guys up to date. It's pretty cool that they used some concept of some infographics that we do here on the channel. So we've got the Head of Wrath here. This one's going to be buffing other heads. It's going to be reducing damage that other heads take from AoE attacks. It's going to have a vengeance mechanic where it's going to continue to stack vengeance stacks, and then it's going to keep buffing itself more and more because of that. But the vengeance counter will reset every time it hits 15, and then enemy hits will not be counted while under a vengeance buff in terms of adding stacks to that. So the Hydra boss is looking pretty insane. This one's going to do AoE decrease attack and also provoke while also buffing other heads and stacking vengeance on itself. So the Hydra is looking like it's going to bring a lot of insane things that you're gonna have to deal with almost everything in the game. And then this wasn't the only one that they teased, because they also teased this one over on Facebook. So you can see they're really trying to do every single platform. I guess now we're just missing Twitter. They're going to need to tease something on like Twitter, on Reddit, and whatnot. But here they've got an A1 that's going to do an AoE with a bunch of poisons and also placing Leech to help the Hydra heads heal themselves. And then going to inflict damage to all heads under HP burn whenever this one is decapitated. We've got another AoE. We're going to place more poison, and then we're going to instantly deal damage from all the poisons that it has already placed from its A1. And then it's got more pages. Let me flip over here. The A3 is going to be placing a Poison Cloud buff on all Hydra heads for 2 turns, and this buff cannot be removed or transferred. Poison Cloud. This is another new mechanic. So the Hydra boss is bringing a bunch of insane things to the game. Poison Cloud, if I had to guess, is going to be some sort of, every time that champion takes a turn, it's going to inflict poison damage on all enemies. Poison Cloud, you would think it's going to be like a radius effect that champion is putting on other things. So probably every time the Hydra takes a turn, no matter what head it is, they're going to be damaging your team by doing poison damage or something. I would guess it's something like that. I could be wrong, but that is definitely a new mechanic called Poison Cloud. And then we're going to also inflict damage to all heads under an HP burn debuff whenever this head is decapitated. So you always get some sort of little bonus effect when you decapitate a head to kind of help you versus the other ones and buff your team to give you incentives of decapitating heads as you're going. But this one also has a mechanic where it's going to receive double damage from HP burn debuffs. And then again, this one will also decrease the damage that other heads take from AoE attacks, just like the last one. So that brings us up to 5 heads that we have seen Plarium tease so far. Blight and Wrath were teased today, and then previous ones that were teased were Mischief, Torment, and Suffering. So far, 5 of them, and possibly more to come. Then to get you caught up on what is going on in the game, obviously we will be getting a CVC launching on Tuesday here in a few days. So you're going to want to prepare your resources accordingly to double dip your points when CVC launches here on Tuesday. And we're also going to be having another event for a champion starting next week. They're going to be trying to squeeze in an epic champion event in between Halloween and then the holiday season here for Christmas. We're going to be doing the same thing we did last year. I did a video yesterday covering this guy's kit in detail. He's basically going to be an epic champion who works with Hex and has some fun mechanics in him, like blocking heals and stuff. So should be a fun epic fusion here to kind of hold us over in between Thanksgiving and then moving into the holiday season, when I'm sure they will do a big fusion or fragment event for the Christmas season. Then for tournaments and events, really nothing crazy to talk about. You're probably going to want to just take it easy a little bit until next week is going to be pretty crazy when you got CVC and also the new event for that fly type champion starting. So nothing wrong with kind of taking it easy the next few days. Fire Night, Classic Arena, Takedown, and then a Tag Arena tournament starting tomorrow. But none of this is part of any super special event or anything crazy going on. Then under the events tab, there is going to be a Summon Rush, obviously coinciding with the 10X. That Summon Rush is basically a pseudo countdown to when the 10X will be live in game. But worth noting that on the artifact enhancement, you're going to want to at least get to 1,000 bare minimum and scoop up the core hammers. And then also under the champion training event, there is some core hammers, but these are a lot more difficult to get to with the 5,000 points. So nothing wrong with skipping that champion training. Worth noting that artifact enhancement is going to be ending today though. Then I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going on in the shop. So we've got a Doom Tower kit. Okay, so we're going to go 2.5. And then we're going to go 5 and 5 on the tomes. We're going to do 500 gems and 5 of the chicken. Okay, boom, 1.98. So nothing super great there. That's out of consideration in my opinion. The monthly pack grades out as about a 2.5. The mega mix, okay, same price. We've seen this one a bunch of times. I don't think this one is super good. Let's go XP of 5, 350 gems. And then 40 times 4 is 160. Let's go 160 brews. And then we're going to do 8 and 10. Boom, that's everything right. 2.01, so again, nothing really to write home about. Mini Mix, Divine Crit for $30 is going to be a no. Special Progress, this will probably be the best one, but I don't think it's going to be great. Let's go here, and Energy of 2,000, and then Gems of 1,200, and Energy Refills of 20. Boom, 1.7. So it's actually not the best. So none of these are going to be super great in my opinion. The monthly pack is decent, but really nothing to write home about here in the offers today. So that'll do it for what I wanted to get covered in this one. Lots of craziness going on constantly in Raid, which is a good thing. We've got lots to dive into as a community with the new Fusion starting next week, with CVC starting next week, and then we've got the 10X tomorrow, and then we got the Hydra boss being officially teased by Plarium next week, with them slowly leaking stuff. It's going to be another mechanic for things to do with your clan mates and for us to theory craft as content creators and as a community to try to take down the different heads of this Hydra, bringing lots of insane, crazy mechanics to the game. So it should be a fun time here in Raid as we move forward to the holiday season, where we will hopefully get a better Fusion event than last year when we got Pixniel. I really hope Raid doesn't mess that up 2 years in a row, and I hope we're able to get a super impactful and fun champion that everybody's excited about here as we head into the Christmas season. So if you're watching this right away, I am going to head on over to stream and hang out with you guys for a few hours. A link is down below in the pinned comment if you would like to stop by and say hi. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.